Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to MiM Monday. This is Mickey and Minutes Live. I'm your host, Nick Lazaga, and it's time to make Monday magical. I'm so happy you guys joined me today. So today, I'm really stoked because tomorrow, I'm leaving for Disneyland. Bright and early, guys. I'll be on a plane. If you don't know, I live in Texas. So anytime I get to go to the parks, it's a whole amazing, fun trip. It's a vacation for me, really. It is. So, yeah, tomorrow I'll be on a plane bright and early to Disneyland, and I have to finish packing, guys. I'm not even done packing. So I'm super stoked to be here with you guys for MiM Monday. We have a lot to talk about today. But yeah, so if you've never been a part of a MiM Monday, let me tell you what this is. This is Mickey and Minutes Live, and I want to talk to you guys. So I already see some people joining in the chat. What's going on, everybody? Thanks so much for hanging out in the chat. If you're watching live, then please chime in the chat. I want to talk about the Disney news with you guys, get some commentary and some conversation going. And if you're watching this as a playback on YouTube or on Instagram, thanks so much for watching. And remember that you can join next time, 8 p.m., on Instagram Live. And yeah, so let's get started. We have some news to talk about that I'm really excited about. And then at the end of the show, we're going to talk about what's in my park bag because I'm going to Disneyland. So let's get started right away with the big news, the big news of the week. And that is what's going on at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So yeah, if you haven't heard this yet, basically, Star Wars Launch Bay is going away. It's going away for good, and it's being replaced by something called the Magic of Disney Animation. Now, this is a huge story that I can't wait to break down with you guys. So, basically, if you don't know your Disney history, Hollywood Studios opened as Disney MGM Studios in 1989, and it had like a full backlot tour, and part of that backlot tour was an experience called the Magic of Disney Animation. So right now, right off the bat, they're bringing the name back, the Magic of Disney Animation. That's coming back. And so what that was back then was, for a good portion of it anyways, it was an actual working animation studios. They made some actual films that we've seen, that we love. Brother Bear comes to mind. Lilo and Stitch was made there. I believe Mulan was made there. Parts of Beauty and the Beast were made there. And so it was actually a real working animation studio for a while. And then over the years, it kind of changed, and it became more of like an exhibit, and eventually it was taken over by Star Wars Launch Bay, which was a Star Wars, or it's still there, a Star Wars exhibit where they have a meet and greets with Chewbacca and Darth Vader and sometimes Kylo Ren. Not much anymore since Galaxy's Edge has taken over. But they also have really cool props from Star Wars and stuff. I see in the chat, backlot was so good, by the way. Yes, it was. So the other part of Disney Animation, it was this whole experience back in the early 90s, late 80s, and part of it was Backlot Express, which is being referenced in the chat. Backlot, the Backlot Experience. Backlot Express is the restaurant. Yo-ho Daddy-o, what's going on, man? And so it would take you through all these, you were on a tram, and it would take you through some movie sets, and the costume department, and even an area called Catastrophe Canyon, where they had a canyon and a big, fuel tanker, and it exploded, and all this water came in. All that was really cool. But the start of all this, the entrance to all this, was that big archway, that's still in Hollywood Studios, that big arch that says Disney Hollywood Studios on it. That was the entrance to this whole experience. And so let's dive a little bit more into what's coming, and I'll talk about what's going as well. So this experience that's coming, it's replacing Star Wars Launch Bay, is called the Magic of Disney Animation, again, borrowing the name from the original attraction. But it's not going to be a working studio anymore. This is actually going to be an experience based on the short film Once Upon a Studio. The short film came out in 2023 as a part of Disney 100, and this short actually won an Emmy. Give me a thumb up if you know the short that I'm talking about. It's called Once Upon a Studio. So basically in the short, it was like all the characters from Disney movies from the last 100 years coming out of photos and like walking through the halls of the Disney Animation Studio in Burbank and getting ready to take like a big family photo, like a group photo. And it was just the most like amazing short. Like I love this short. I teared up. And dare I say, if you're a Disney fan who didn't cry during this short, I think you might be a robot. We might need to do a CAPTCHA on you. But yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful short. And so this experience coming to Hollywood Studios is based on this short. So what they're doing is they're taking Star Wars Launch Bay away and they're making the facade of this area look like the Burbank studio, the actual studio, the actual Disney Animation Studio in Burbank. And one of the ways they're doing that is by adding a big Sorcerer's hat. And so the Sorcerer's hat is exactly what's on the Roy E. Disney Animation Building in Burbank, California. And let's stop right there. Let's talk about this Sorcerer's hat, because I see in the chat all the feels. Yep. I see in the chat. I've been trying to get a print of the photo at the end. Yeah, a lot of great stuff. A lot of great memories from old MGM Studios. But let's talk about the Sorcerer's hat. There was a Sorcerer's hat. We're kind of getting the hat back, kind of. So there was a Sorcerer's hat in Hollywood Studios from 2001 to 2015. Now, some of you late millennials, early Gen Z, you probably remember this big hat. It was in front of the Chinese theater. It was massive. It blocked the Chinese theater. It had like a little like a Mickey hand on it. And everything, and it was humongous. And so this hat debuted on September 28th, 2001. It was part of the 100 Years of Magic celebration. And during that celebration, underneath the hat, they had these kiosks where you could learn about Walt Disney's life. Those kiosks actually left in 2003, and then for a while, I believe it was like a pin trading / pin purchasing station. It was cool. I mean, I'm one of those people. I was born in 1988. So I remember, I have a ton of memories of Hollywood Studios from before the Sorcerer's hat. And Great Movie Ride was one of my favorite things. But then I also have a lot of memories growing up with the Sorcerer's hat. So I'm kind of in that generation where I'm like torn between it. But I'm also one of the people who believe that the walk down Hollywood Boulevard should lead to the Chinese theater, right? It should be authentically California, right? That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to represent the heyday of California, of Hollywood, you know? And so the Sorcerer's hat was kind of an eyesore. I hate to use that word because it was really cool looking, but it blocked the Chinese theater, which was, you know, the big weenie, right? As Walt Disney would call it, the weenie. Great Movie Ride. Yes, a Great Movie Ride. Sad face, I know. It was one of my favorite things. Behind the Castle Door, what's going on? Hey, how you doing? But anyways, long story short, this hat was there for a long time. It was removed it was removed for a while. They started removing it on January 7th, 2015, and it was completely removed by February 25th, 2015. And then you were able to see the Great Movie Ride again, which, you know, eventually got that big neon Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway sign, which I like Runaway Railway, but Great Movie Ride has my heart. So a lot of people might look at what's going into the animation courtyard of Hollywood Studios, which is replacing Star Wars Launch Bay with the big Sorcerer's hat, as like, oh, we're getting the hat back. And you kind of are in Hollywood Studios, but it's not going to be in front of the Chinese theater. And it's going to be a nod to the Roy E. Disney building, the actual building. So I think it pleases everybody, right? I think it makes everyone happy. I'm excited about it. So it looks really cool. I keep looking at my computer because I'm looking at the concept art, and the hat looks great. They're going to repaint the building to have those like red and white stripes like the actual animation building does. But the one thing I said that some things are going to go away. That big arch that says Hollywood Studios, goodbye arch. That's been there for a long time. Like I said, it was the entryway into the backlot tour and all that stuff. But that's going away. And to make this a more open area, they're actually getting a sign that says Walt Disney Studios that looks kind of like the sign that's actually in California. And they're adding a lot of green spaces here, which again, we haven't even talked about the attraction going in here yet. But these green spaces, like I'm one of these people who's going to look at this and be like, yes, this is beautiful. Remember, these are theme parks, right? So having some of that parkness to it is really nice. So they're adding a lot of green, and in the Disney Parks blog article about it, it said, and I quote, "Make sure to look around. You never know who you might see playing in the branches, soaking up the sun, or digging in the grass." So that could mean maybe some statues of characters, but I'm an optimist, and I'm hoping for maybe some animatronics, right? Maybe some just animatronics of Chip and Dale in the tree, maybe something like that. That would be wonderful, right? Could you imagine? I mean, one thing that I really like, I've never been to Epic Universe, but looking at Epic Universe, looking at the Isle of Berk, they have these dragons that are not part of rides. They're just out as part of the scenery, and they're animatronics. So if they're bringing some of that here in the Hollywood Studios, if we're getting animatronic Chip and Dale hiding in the trees, yes, please. We need that, right? Digging in the ground. I don't know what Disney character digs in the ground. The first person that comes to my brain is Rabbit from Winnie the Pooh. I mean, so the story of this attraction is that, and again, quoting from the Disney Parks blog, it says, "Our story in this newly reimagined space begins as animators have temporarily stepped away, but the building is still buzzing with activity as the characters have come to life and they're ready to play." So the characters come to life, ready to play. That makes me think that, yes, there could be characters out here in the green space, in the foyer, right? The animators are gone. And, when the cat's away, right? My brain just always goes to Kingdom Keepers. I'm such a nerd. But that Ridley Pearson book series where, like, when everyone leaves, all the characters come to life in the parks. This is not a reference to that. But I keep thinking about that because I love that. Anyone read Kingdom Keepers? That's great. He has a new book series coming out, by the way, called Magical Map. And again, it's about things coming to life in the parks. There's going to be 2 books right off the bat. The Jungle Cruise and Pirates of the Caribbean. And I know they're kind of written for for kids, for middle school ish kids. But I love Kingdom Keepers. I might have to get my hands on these. So in the chat, maybe characters just freely walking around, says Daddy-O. Launch Bay used to have Jawas freely walking around. I remember the Jawas. I traded with the Jawas one time for something. I gave them something, and they gave me this really cool, I have it here, but I can't remove it. It's like a water bottle clip. So, Jawas are great. But yeah, it could just be walk around characters. And honestly, Daddy-O, that's more likely that we see Chip and Dale. And, the concept art has a Pluto walk around character. But I like to think that we'll get true to size animatronics of Chip and Dale. Wouldn't that just be cool? All right, so again, this is based on that short Once Upon a Studio. And so what's going to happen once you enter this building is, again, the animators are away, so the characters are coming to life. And just like in the film, the portraits on the walls are going to come to life, and you're going to find characters talking to you. And that makes me think, again, I've never been to Epic Universe, or honestly, I haven't been to Universal Studios in a long time, but I think of these Harry Potter attractions where they had the portraits talking to you. And, excuse me, I'm thinking something like that, where these portraits might, come to life, and you'll have these characters, and they'll talk to you. But there's so much more, guys. So there's going to be an animation academy kind of attraction where you're going to learn how to draw, which, makes me think of Rafiki's Planet Watch over Animal Kingdom, where they have the animation academy. Maybe with this here, that will go away and we'll get something new in Animal Kingdom. But I know there's a lot of infrastructure and animal care centers back there, so maybe not. Maybe we'll just do it in two places. There's also going to be a playground for the little kids that's called Drawn to Wonderland. And not only is it inspired to Alice in Wonderland, but it's very specifically inspired by the concept art of Alice in Wonderland drawn by the Disney legend Mary Blair. Ugh, like that just makes me this makes me feel so happy. Hey, what's going on? I see someone else joined the chat. How you doing? Welcome to MiM Monday. So let's talk about this. What do you guys think of this Alice in Wonderland playground? I know the studios is really craving some more kid friendly things, right? An Alice in Wonderland playground, but not just inspired by Alice in Wonderland, inspired by Mary Blair. And let's see, it's gonna have a oversized flower garden, musical instruments, a Mad Tea Party playset, the Tugley Woods exploration area. That sounds great. I see in the chat, my kid will love that playground. Over kids, I'm going to be in the playground all day, says Riki goes to Disney. Yes, it sounds great, right? They're going to have to do, on the Disney Cruise Line where they have a time where the adults can explore the kid areas? I think they should do that. Like every day, like an hour or something a day, let the adults go in and play, right? And let us go in and just hang out in this Alice in Wonderland play area, or at least preview it, right? Can I pay rent there? Says Riki. That's funny, yeah. So that's one of the areas, and oh my goodness, this just sounds so cool. So what's really getting me about this is that they're making the whole outside area look like how it does in the studios, and even down to the fact where if you are a crazy person like me and zoom into the concept art, you're gonna see some hidden details, including that road sign that says Mickey Avenue with Mickey on it. That's actually in the Burbank studio area, and the red fire hydrant that's also in the Burbank studio area. So there's so many Easter eggs, and they're just gonna make this look so beautiful. It's a place that I'm gonna want to just spend time in. Which as somebody who went to Star Wars Launch Bay maybe twice ever, this is what we need, right? Let's see. Dressed in Magic says it's giving Tokyo Disney Sea Mermaid Lagoon with the inside vibes. Have you been to Tokyo Disney Sea? If you have, I'm really jealous. But I know exactly what you're talking about because I watch a lot of YouTube. And yes, so that Mermaid Lagoon area in Tokyo Disney Sea, look it up on YouTube if you haven't seen this. It's highly immersive. It's beautiful. It is it just looks like you're under the sea, and it's really great. And yeah, I agree. So if the playground for Alice in Wonderland is half as cool as that, then yes, absolutely. So, there's it says there's gonna be more surprises here, but that's pretty much what it is. And it's mostly a kid area, but as Disney fans, as adults who grew up in classic MGM studios, this is just bringing back all the vibes, all the classic Disney MGM Studios vibes. I posted a meme, actually, when I woke up to this news, and I was looking on my phone, I saw it, and the first thing I did was make a meme, and it's that scene from Hook, the amazing Hook movie with Robin Williams, and it's that scene where the Lost Boy is touching Peter Pan's face, and he goes, "Oh, there you are, Peter." All the feels. But I memed that up with this concept art over Peter Pan's face, and it says "Oh, there you are, MGM Studios," because it looks like that. It's so good, guys. So yeah, playground for the kids, learn to draw area, the portraits coming to life on the inside, and then other surprises. And of course, this whole area is going to be themed to Disney animation, and so the Disney Junior show, that's staying, but it's getting a full reimagining. Some people speculate that it might be similar to what just came to Disney California Adventure, the Disney Junior Mickey Mouse Clubhouse show. It might be similar to that. I'm hoping, honestly, for something different, because I don't think that we need, to copy and paste everything. I think that we could have something new, something different, something related to the magic of Disney animation, right? Something like that. But we don't know. And then, of course, the Little Mermaid show that just opened this summer, back in May, that's staying also, but of course that's animation also. So it all ties together. It all really works. So, yeah. I'm just staring at this concept art. It's beautiful. So if you haven't seen this, go to Disney Parks blog or anywhere on Instagram really, and just look at this. It's amazing. So there's a point on the Disney Parks blog where it says that the Sorcerer's hat will cast a spell with pixie dust. And so I'm wondering if that's like their story way of how these characters are coming to life in the studio. I don't know. But it looks amazing. So yeah, that's the lead story here. Magic of Disney Animation. Sorcerer hat kind of coming back to Hollywood Studios. The name Magic of Disney Animation coming back. And just the poster, the attraction poster for this looks incredible. It's just like the short Once Upon a Studio. It has all the characters on it, and they're coming out of the animation building, and it just looks great. So, anyways, I was just really excited to talk about that. So, yeah, if you're excited for this, drop a little magic icon or something, the little stars or something. Let me know. Let me know how excited you are. I see a lot of people in the chat already saying that they're stoked on this, and I am too. This is going to open in 2026, so we do not have to wait long for this. Star Wars Launch Bay will be closing pretty soon, actually. I believe it closes at the end of September, and which means I'll be going to Disney, to Walt Disney World in September. So I might have to say my goodbyes to Star Wars Launch Bay. Peace out, Star Wars Launch Bay. We don't need you anymore. We have Galaxy's Edge. So I will say, one thing I really liked about Star Wars Launch Bay was that big pod racer, right? That was really cool. I also like the carpet that had like the crawl from the beginning of Star Wars. Very cool stuff. I will have to go in there, take some pictures, and hang out in there a little bit. Maybe visit the Jawas. They have that little like fake bar with the blue milk, which you can get now for real at Galaxy's Edge. Again, this is all super like, we don't need it anymore. So, anyways, this is exciting news. They dropped this on like a random Tuesday, which makes me think that everything else that they have to talk about at the upcoming D23 is just going to blow our minds. Because if they consider this small potatoes, then what are they holding back? What are they ready to tell us? I want to know. I'm ready. Excuse me. So, let's move on to the next story here. And that is Fantastic Four. Have you guys seen Fantastic Four? If you've seen Fantastic Four already, drop a 4 down in the chat. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, drop a 4 down in the comments. And let me know, what did you think of Fantastic Four? I want to know, because I loved it. I thought it was, well, fantastic, right? How many people have said that already? So, a lot of people think it's fantastic as well, because it already crossed $118 million domestically. That actually makes it Marvel's first $100 million debut of 2025. So it crushed the other ones. The other ones that came out this year. I never saw Thunderbolts. I don't know. So I see in the chat, Daddy-O hasn't watched it yet. Don't worry, Yo-ho Daddy-O. I will not spoil this movie for you, but I will tell you that it's incredible. Actually, all right. One thing. If you don't want to hear about a Disneyland Easter egg in this movie, then earmuffs, I guess. But I'm not going to do any plot spoilers, but I want to talk about this. Because while I was sitting in the theater, and I was just watching this movie and just enjoying it because it's amazing. Pedro Pascal's fantastic. And the whole look of the movie is incredible. We'll talk about that in a second. But they did something that just made my heart happy in this movie. Hey, what's going on? Disney Bell the Ball. Thanks for joining MiM Monday. We're talking about Fantastic Four. That's 8. Fantastic Four. So what they did, there was this scene in the movie. There's a montage, and during this montage, you have Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, right? And he's like doing some sciencey stuff on like a chalkboard, and the music that's playing in the background is a track called Nation on Wheels, written by George Bruns. And if you don't know why that makes me so happy, let me tell you. This song is classic Disneyland, because this song was originally composed for the Disneyland TV special, A Gala Day at Disneyland. And then it was actually used in the 1964 World's Fair as part of the music for the Magic Skyway attraction. Oh, there's more though. So this was used in Magic Skyway, but then they brought this music over to Disneyland, and it was part of the music loop for the People Mover. R.I.P. Disneyland People Mover. Disneyland's People Mover closed in 1995, but this is a part of the music loop that you can hear in Tomorrowland on the People Mover for a while. And the fact that they used this music, the George Bruns music, it can't just be an Easter egg, right? I mean, even if it's just an Easter egg, yes, best Easter egg of the whole movie. And that's saying something, because it's a Marvel movie, and it's full of Easter eggs. But as a Disneyland fan, you hear that and you're just like, oh my goodness, I know this. But it could it be just an Easter egg, or could it be Disney telling us something, right? So the look of this movie, it takes place in a retro future 1960s New York. And the vibe is very Jetsons, right? Jetsonian, I guess. And, there's flying cars, but the whole look of it is also just very retro. Like the TV screens are like rounded. So they have like a Times Square where they have these like big TV screens that are like curved, and it looks so cool. And there's been rumors floating around that if this movie does well, that Disneyland's Tomorrowland might get a slight makeover. Now, that's not to say that every attraction is going to become a Fantastic Four attraction and all that stuff. I think what they meant by that, or what the rumors have meant by that, is that the look of Tomorrowland will get refreshed and get this kind of 1960s Jetsons Fantastic Four retro future look, which I love. And anyone who's a classic Disneyland fan will love, because you think about stuff like the Monsanto House of the Future, and how that looked. It's very similar to how Fantastic Four looked. And if we can get more of that vibe, I mean, let's be honest. Tomorrowland, Disneyland, it needs some love, right? The People Mover hasn't run since 1995, and you can still see the People Mover track going around the park. There's certain areas of the park where there's like windows that look into nothing, but it's really a People Mover track. And oh my goodness, if we can get the People Mover back, and I've heard both sides of the conversation. People saying the People Mover can't come back because of the structural damage, and the ride mechanism is outdated and all that stuff, which is all true. Yes, it's true. Other people say you can't bring it back because in order to bring it back, you'll have to gut Space Mountain, and you'll have to, get rid of Innoventions, which again, Star Wars Launch Bay, Innoventions, that building is kind of useless, but we can get rid of it. I mean, yeah, that's the building that used to hold the Carousel of Progress, but it's nothing right now, right? I think it's Star Wars Launch Bay still also. That doesn't bother me, right? Getting rid of that. I think the big problem is they would have to probably close most of Tomorrowland for a long time to fix the People Mover. They don't want to do that. They could, right? They could, and we just have to suck it up for a little while and just know that what we're getting back is the People Mover. What do you guys think? Would you be okay if they closed Tomorrowland for a year and then they reopened it with the PeopleMover working. If you think that's a good idea, give me a thumb up. I think that would work. I'd be okay with that. But I think also a full reimagining of Tomorrowland to make it look like this cool 1960s retro future from Fantastic Four. I'm 100% for that. Do it. The movie's incredible. Go see it. And the look of it. I think I spent the first 20 minutes just watching the movie and just looking at the look of it and thinking, man, this movie looks fantastic. It looks great. That's the future that never was, to borrow a phrase from Magic Kingdom's Tomorrowland. So anyways, so that's that. Guys, I got a pack for Disneyland. So I have one more story to talk about, and then we're going to do a little thing about what's in my park bag, because again, I'm going to Disneyland tomorrow, and I need the pack, and I want to show you what I bring to the parks. So one more thing I do want to talk about. It's still July, right? It's July, 28th. So it's still Christmas in July. So bear with me. We're going to talk about Christmas again, because I love Christmas. We did a whole episode on Christmas in July. Go listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. But one thing we didn't really talk about on that was Disneyland. We spent a lot of time talking about Walt Disney World and ornaments and stuff. We didn't talk about Disneyland. And there is some really, really cool stuff coming to Disneyland this Christmas season. And holiday overlays for things, Small World holidays coming back, which I'm wondering if they're going to keep the last verse from the Sherman Brothers in there. They probably will. But that's getting a whole holiday makeover like it always does. Same thing with Haunted Mansion Holiday. I'm looking at the chat. 24-hour trip to Magic Kingdom next month, Daddy-O. Dude, have so much fun. Let me know how that goes. So other things coming is the Festival of Holidays over in Disney California Adventure. That's going to have some really cool stuff returning. With Disney Viva Navidad, led by the Three Caballeros. I love the Three Caballeros, guys. I grew up on the Three Caballeros. I love that so much. So that's great. And yes, dressed in magic, you hit the nail on the head. This is what I'm excited to talk about. Christmas Carol character meal. Yes! Yes! So, basically, over at Disney's Grand Californian, there's going to be 2 different holiday character meals. And one of them is going to be Daisy's Holiday Pajama Party, featuring Donald, Daisy, Chip, Dale, and Pluto in their pajamas. That's so cute. Which, if I were going to that one, I'd wear my pajamas. But it's all about Christmas Carol, guys. So basically, we have Mickey, Minnie, Clarabelle, all dressed in their Mickey's Christmas Carol kind of that time period outfit. But then we have Scrooge McDuck in his outfit, and the best thing ever is we have Goofy dressed as Jacob Marley. So this character has met before, at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, I believe, and maybe at Disneyland at some point or another. But he's always been such a super rare character. And yes, iconic. That's the word. Yes. And so to be able to be able to just book a character dining and be able to meet Goofy as Jacob Marley. Oh, be still my heart. If I wasn't going to Disneyland tomorrow, I would be already booking a trip for holiday season to see this, because it looks amazing. So I'm thinking I might just have to go to Disneyland next holiday season, and hopefully they still have this. But yes, I saw this and I freaked out. So last year we went to Walt Disney World for the holidays, and they have these gingerbread displays all around Walt Disney World, and the one over at Yacht and Beach Club was like a carousel, a gingerbread carousel that actually moved. It actually worked. But each of the horses on this carousel were designed to remind you of different characters from Mickey's Christmas Carol. I think I have some pictures of it somewhere on Instagram. If not, I'll have to post them again sometime soon. But it was amazing. I love Mickey's Christmas Carol. So I'm a teacher, and around the I actually have the Disney club at school that I host, I guess, or I'm the teacher that hosts this club. We got to pick our own clubs. So of course, Disney Club. So my students in the club, they come to me and we watch Disney movies and we talk about Disney history. I teach them all this cool stuff. And around Christmas time during the club, we watched Mickey's Christmas Carol, and the amount of students who have never seen this, it was honestly most of them, and they loved it. So yes, iconic. Continue to show the next generation this movie. It's the best. It's the best. So speaking of Disneyland, again, like I said, I'm leaving tomorrow bright and early. I'll be on a plane, so I need to pack. But one of the things is I always take a park bag because I'm not a local. I don't have the luxury of just coming and going. When I go to the parks, I go commando. I go from rope drop, actually before rope drop. My goal is usually to get there an hour before rope drop, all the way to, I'd say, to closing, but honestly, I'm that guy who lingers in the parks until they kick me out, right? And so I'll be in Disneyland for a few days. And so since I'm there all day, I don't plan on going back to the hotel. It's just me and Chelsea, me and my wife. And so we take a park bag. We take our supplies with us, because again, it's an all day thing. So, is there a backpack emoji? I don't know if there's a backpack emoji. If there is, drop one in there if you're a park bag person. Because I know a lot of people, not just locals, but a lot of people don't like to carry stuff. So they'll just go, just go, and whatever needs they have, they'll purchase or use whatever at the parks. But I'm a park bag guy. I always have been. There is a backpack emoji. Good job, Daddy-O. Thank you. So I thought we'd explore what's in my park bag, because people ask me, oh, you take a bag, you take a backpack. Why do you take a backpack? Doesn't that get annoying, carrying around a backpack? No, it's fine. It's not that much stuff. But let's talk about what's in here. So, let's see. I always bring a backpack to Walt Disney World. Yes, see, thank you. Backpack crew. So, first of all, a refillable water bottle, because water at Disney parks is so expensive. Don't buy water bottles, guys. Refillable water bottles. This one's cool. This one locks, so it won't pop open by accident. And then just refill it. They have water bottle refill stations all around the park. If you go to certain quick service areas, they'll let you refill your water bottles. And yeah, gotta have that. And then of course, as Mickey in Minutes, as I want to bring you content. So the newest addition to my park bag is this, my DJI. I've been using this during MiM Mondays to hold up my phone, but today I wanted to show it to you guys. So this is my DJI mobile, and it's a mobile phone. It's a cell phone gimbal, and it's one of the coolest things that I own. Actually, my wife got this for me for our anniversary this year, and it is so cool. It's a phone stabilizer, and it has so many different modes. This is the version 7, I believe, and it even has like a stand. That's how I've been using it for MiM Mondays. It's been holding up my phone the last couple of weeks. But yeah, this is awesome. So I'm hoping to get some good content for you guys in the parks. I'm gonna start a new video series in the parks that I can't wait to premiere when I get back. So lots of really cool stuff. Let me turn this off. But yeah, so this is something I'm really excited about to have. And you just fold it over, and it comes with a little carrying case. It's so cool. Actually, I went to a concert yesterday, and I brought this, and I was like kind of testing it out because I've used it around the house a little bit, but I brought it to this concert, and it works great. It got some really stable footage. It was fantastic. So, can't wait to follow along. Yes, thank you. I hope you follow along. I mean, I'm going to be posting stuff on the Mickey in Minutes account on the stories, just all day in the park. So watch out for that. And then, of course, content coming after that. Let's see, Daddy-O. I feel like in my 5 years in the military, lugging around a rucksack prepared me for park backpacking. Yes, exactly. See, I don't have that experience. So, for you, this is nothing, right? Let's see, what else do I have here? I'm going to California. So, even though it's summertime, I need a hoodie, guys. It's going to be like in the 80s, you know? I know, this is my Walt Disney World hoodie. I got this a long time ago at Mouse Gear. Remember Mouse Gears? I love Mouse Gears. I miss Mouse Gears. What is it called? Not Connections. What's it called now? Creations. Creations is cool. But, you know, I need a hoodie. This is a super light hoodie. So, I'm really excited about that. I'm about the weather. I mean, not about my hoodie. I mean, I love my hoodie. But I'm excited about the weather. It's going to be in the 80s. It's going to be nice. Let's see, what else? Guys, don't be one of those people who buy Disney park ponchos. Don't do it. They're so expensive. I know they're cute. They have the little logo on the back. But they're so expensive. This was in a pack of like 20 ponchos for like $2 or something. It might rain. Also, Tiana's Bayou Adventure at Disneyland gets you soaked. Soaked. So, my wife said that's a hoodie I would steal when we started dating. Yeah. When we first started dating, that hoodie was basically hers. She would take it all the time. I love that hoodie. But yeah, rain ponchos. So another thing that's really cool, I don't have it because, you know, I'm the dude in this relationship, but Chelsea wears mini ears. So there you go, ponch ears. She has these ponchos that are like, I think they're a small shop. They're called ponch ears. And they go over your ears, but they're like shaped like the ears. And then the part that's over your ears is completely transparent, so you can still see your ears while wearing the rain ponchos, guys. It's fantastic. So, yeah. So dressed in magic. They really are talking about the ponchos being expensive, right? And I'm a Floridian. I should know better. Yeah. And so, yes, bring a poncho. Don't buy Disney Parks ponchos, please. They're not just for the rain. They're for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I'll tell you, I haven't ridden Tiana's in Disneyland yet. I've ridden in Walt Disney World, but Splash Mountain in Disney World did me dirty last time. Last time I was there, it got us soaked. So we're prepared. So other thing to be prepared for that, I usually bring like another T-shirt, like an extra T-shirt or something. Socks, right? Who wants wet socks? I'm not going to show you that stuff, but yeah. The other thing, so the opposite of the hoodie is the fan, right? So this is a fan. You wear it around your neck. You know, it's cool. And yeah, it's going to be in the 80s, but it's still summertime, right? We actually bought these for one of our summer trips to Walt Disney World, and we used it the entire time. We destroyed the battery on this because it was hot. Put a sticker on there. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. What else do I got? All right, so this I want to talk about. Guys, fuel rod. Fuel rod. So, a fuel rod, this is a portable phone charger battery. And what's really cool about this is that there are these stations all around Disneyland and Walt Disney World. It's like a kiosk. And you buy this, and it actually comes in a container like this. And in it has all these, it has a short cable and all the adapters for the different types of phone that you may have. You know, if you're an Android user or an iPhone user, whatever. And so you buy this initially at a kiosk, and it's like $30, $38. But anytime you're using this and this dies, you go to a kiosk, you put it in the kiosk, and it will, for free, spit you out another one. So you just keep swapping these out your whole trip, and you just keep charging your phones. And they're so cool. I'd never, ever go to the parks without a fuel rod. Hashtag not sponsored. I just love these things. Now, my one thing about this, since I'm not sponsored, I could say what's wrong with them. They're the best way to charge your phone, you know, maybe 20% battery, and it takes about an hour. So they're not super efficient. They won't get you all the way to 100, and they'll die really fast. But that's why there's kiosks literally all over the parks, and you just keep reusing them. So actually, to supplement these, we have other portable batteries that we take also, some, actual name brand ones. But these are cool. You just keep trading them out. So there's a whole bunch. There's at Disneyland, Westward Ho Trading Company, Little Green Men Store Command, Main Street Locker and Rental Storage, Star Traders, Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree, It's a Small World Toy Shop. Those are the places you can replace them in Disneyland, Disneyland Park. And then there's some kiosks over in California Adventure. There's one at Mortimer's Market and one at Gone Hollywood. And then, of course, there's some, I believe there's some at Downtown Disney. So, yes, I cannot go without a battery because, between taking a lot of pictures, filming stuff for Instagram, and you guys, my phone will die. Let's see. I got a couple other things here that I think are actually really, really important. So, I'll save this one for last. Tissues. You never know. I wear contacts, so, contact lens stuff. I've been taking my glasses just in case, but they always make the metal detectors go off, so I just have this stuff. Alright. Maybe I'm old. I don't know. Advil. You never know, guys. Gotta be prepared. This is a big one. Hand sanitizer. You don't want to be dirty. And then, alright. So, here's the last thing that I take in my park bag that you could benefit from. Mickey in Minutes stickers. Guys, I have so many of these. If you see me in the parks, if you find me in the parks, come say hi, and you're going to get some stickers. I want to meet you. If you're in the parks, seriously, if you're in the parks and you see me, I'll probably be wearing my Mickey in Minutes hat. And come up to me, say hi, let's have a conversation, right? And you're going to get some stickers. So I have a lot. I have a lot of these. Come say hi. I look forward to meeting you guys. Really, Mickey in Minutes this is a community. And I love this so much. I love MiM Mondays because I love talking to you guys. You guys are my friends. And you guys are as much a part of Mickey in Minutes as possible. And I think you deserve some stickers. So, or me, Chelsea says. Yeah, if you see Chelsea in the parks, she'll have them too. But we'll probably be together. Right? Why wouldn't we be together? So, if you see one of us, come get some stickers. I love you guys. This has been really great. Like I said, I'm going to Disneyland tomorrow, and I have not finished packing. I haven't even had dinner yet, honestly. So I got things to do. This has been really great. I love you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out on MiM Monday. Thank you so much for making Monday magical with me, guys. If you're watching this as a playback on YouTube, please join me next time on Instagram, Monday, 8 p.m. Central Time, and join the conversation like all these amazing people have today. And we're also a podcast. We put out at least 1 or 2 episodes a month. You can listen to those on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts, you can check them out. And yeah, thanks so much for joining me for another MiM Monday. We talked about a lot of really cool stuff. Magic of Disney Animation coming to Hollywood Studios. Could not be more excited. Christmas Carol at Disneyland for the holiday season. Amazing. Fantastic Four was great. And yeah, maybe I'll see you in the parks this week. Come say hi if I see you. And if not, I'll see you next Monday on MiM Monday. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, what's going on, everybody?